Glorfindel was tall and straight. His hair was of shining gold. His face fair and young, fearless and full of joy. His eyes were bright and clean, and his voice like music. On his brow sat wisdom, and in his hand was strength. Wow. Do you have goosebumps? I have goosebumps. What an epic introduction. With those traits, few can live up to the description alone. But what made him so special? Countless heroes have given their lives, often without so much as a glance from the gods. Yet it was his soul and his alone that the Valar chose when a true hero was needed. Did they make the right choice? Join us as we explore whether Glorfindel was truly worthy of a second chance. Hello and welcome travelers to Fables of the Fellowship. If you enjoy the video, please like and subscribe for more content every week. I create these lighthearted videos all on my own out of a desire to bring a community of all types of fans together with joy, kindness, and laughter. Here we can relax for a moment, reflect on the day, and enjoy a lore channel that doesn't take itself too seriously. But that involves you most of all. I can't convey how much power is in something as simple as a thumbs up or a comment. So let me hear you. You have my sincerest thank yous for the support. Now let's get back to the show. We will start with a quick look at the movies, where I will use the Oscar-winning cinematography to show Glorfindel in all his glory. Surely, the most epic elf in the history of Middle-earth would be a sight to be seen on the big screen, so don't avert your eyes. Okay, I lied. But I didn't want to gloss this over because the character of Glorfindel is notably absent from the films. His role in Frodo's journey to Rivendell was replaced by Arwen. This change was made to streamline the story for cinematic purposes and to enhance the presence of female characters within this epic narrative. While this choice diverges from Tolkien's original text, it offers a different perspective on the journey to Rivendell, though Glorfindel's valorous spirit remains as an integral part of the lore. So yes, it would have been incredible to see his prestige come to life on film, but the books give us more than enough to admire, so let's take a look. As the sun rose and fell over the beloved city of Gondolin in the year 510 of the First Age, Glorfindel stood as a paragon of elven valor, protecting the hidden city at all costs. Gondolin was the brightest light in a world shadowed by conflict, yet even the mightiest of strongholds can fall. Through treachery and malice, Gondolin was betrayed from within by Maeglin, son of the dark elf Eöl. You can learn more about them in my Swords of Middle-earth video. I'll link it below. Maeglin gives the Dark Lord Morgoth the treasure he has sought for so long, the location of the secret stronghold, and the city is besieged. In the city's darkest hour, amidst the chaos of crumbling stone and the cries of the wounded, Glorfindel led a desperate charge against the invaders, his golden hair aflame against the night. It was then, on the secret mountain paths away from Gondolin, that he faced a foe of terrible might. A Balrog, a demon of fire and shadow from the ancient world. The battle was fierce, a dance of flame and swordlight, witnessed by the stars themselves. In a final act of heroism, Glorfindel delivered a fatal blow to the Balrog, but not without cost. Both fell to their doom in the chasm below. Glorfindel's sacrifice ensuring the escape of many of his kin. One of the most evocative descriptions comes from the Silmarillion, highlighting the aftermath of their duel. Thereupon the Balrog fled into the darkest places of the mines and remained hidden. But Glorfindel, being filled with sorrow at the fall of his kinsmen and the ruin of the town, pursued the Balrog with great anger. He cast himself upon it in his wrath, and they fought upon the mountainside until both fell into the abyss. Take a second to think about that. The Balrog is running for his life because of one single elf, Glorfindel, by himself against a demigod of shadow and fire. There's not much else I can add to make this sound any more incredible. He was so focused on protecting those fleeing that it didn't matter if he was facing Morgoth himself. The imagery this evokes is breathtaking. But alas, we must move on. The spirit of Glorfindel journeyed to the halls of Mondos, where the spirits of the departed elves reside. It was here, in this time beyond time, that the light and purity of Glorfindel's soul shone brightest. Without hesitation, he sacrificed himself to save Gondolin's people, and it was said that no man or elf is greater in the eyes of Eru than he who would lay down his life for his friends. So the Valar saw fit to grant him a rare honor, re-embodiment, a second life in Middle-earth. This decision was not made lightly. It was Glorfindel's selflessness that earned him this destiny. In the early years of the Second Age, around the year 1600, when the Rings of Power were forged and the island kingdom of Numenor rose to prominence, Glorfindel was sent back to Middle-earth. Like Gandalf, he's given a bit of a power-up. He is now an elf that was resurrected with the powers of a lesser Maiar, rivaling even the Astari, like those of Gandalf or Saruman. Glorfindel re-entered Middle-earth's history at a critical juncture, bringing with him all of the knowledge from his first life, but also a deeper understanding of the cosmic struggle between light and darkness. His contributions during the Second Age, though less documented, involved aiding the elves and their allies in laying the foundations that would be crucial for resisting Sauron's malice. With the dawning of the Third Age, Glorfindel's role became more pronounced. He became a key figure in the struggle against the darkening shadow. Specifically, in the year 1975 of the Third Age, during the Battle of Fornost, Glorfindel led the charge that routed the forces of the Witch King of Angmar, ensuring victory for the Free Peoples. After the battle, he made a prophecy concerning the Witch King's end, which would not come by the hand of man, foreshadowing the downfall of Sauron's greatest lieutenant by the hands of a woman and a hobbit with a magical dagger made by an elf. Many years after the darkness had descended upon the lands and the Witch King's forces were scattered, Glorfindel became a bane of the Nazgul. Alluded to earlier in the video, he was integral in Frodo's journey, catching up with the hobbits while they were pursued by the Ringwraiths. Among them, Frodo lay weakened, a mortal wound threatening to claim his soul. So Glorfindel, radiant and resolute, swept through the forest like a wind from the west. His very presence staved off the fear the hobbits had just felt. With grace, he lifted Frodo upon his horse, guiding them with haste across the lands that stretched towards Rivendell. Still, he faced the advancing terror of the Nazgul, his presence enough to keep them scattered and confused. Then, as the Ringwraiths made their move to cross the ford of Bruinen, Glorfindel invoked the power of the river, his voice rising in an ancient call. The waters responded. Surging forth were horses of water and light that bore down upon the Nazgul, sweeping them away in the wrath of the river. And finally, within the halls of Rivendell, once all arrived and Frodo had been healed, the Council of Elrond convened. It was here that the fate of Middle-earth was to be decided. Most were in awe as they witnessed the assembly of elves, men, dwarves, and hobbits, each bearing the weight of their people's hopes and fears, and Glorfindel stood among them as a serene voice. When the debate ensued, fraught with tension and the burden of the One Ring's dark allure, Glorfindel's voice rose, clear and compelling. He spoke of the necessity to face the growing shadow together, and of the perilous path that lay ahead. His words would be heeded by all who attended. Glorfindel's case is unique not just because of his re-embodiment, but also because of his return to Middle-earth with a specific purpose, making him a rare example of an elf who lived, died, and then lived again in both the Blessed Realm and Middle-earth. This distinction is part of what makes his whole story so compelling. He's just another example from the beautiful mind of Tolkien. So let's get back to our original question. Was Glorfindel really worthy to be the chosen hero? I'm going to go with a clear and resounding yes. Alright folks, our time is up and the ship has come to dock in the Undying Lands. If you've enjoyed this story, I can grant you free travel every week to 10 days. All you have to do is subscribe. My sincerest thank you.